Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about the vegan food options at Vallarta, an all-inclusive resort in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. All-inclusive means all of your meals are included, which admittedly, I usually stray away from things like that. One, because they're expensive, but mostly because as someone who eats the way that I do, I don't usually like other people to be in charge of my food options. So I was, I wouldn't say worried about it. I was curious to see like what it was going to be like, and maybe you are too. I'll show you and we'll talk about it in this video. I'm specifying that this is the Vallarta because that is the only all-inclusive hotel in Mexico I have ever stayed at, probably will ever stay at. I just want to say, I don't know like if all-inclusives are like this or if this was like a unique thing to the one that I was at, but I'm just getting really the impression that this is how it would go at all-inclusives. If you've been to multiple as a vegan or even not as a vegan, but you happen to know what the vegan food choices are usually like at an all-inclusive, please do fill us in below. But as far as my experience at the Vallarta, they have multiple different restaurants. They have an Asian, a steakhouse, a few other, they have a pasta one. They have a few restaurants. I did not end up eating at any of the restaurants. I would think of them as like an Outback Steakhouse, where it's like standard American meals that are balanced meals, pre-prepared on a menu, and you just pick one. You know what I mean? And so there would have been like a lot of alterations or this or that needed. And I really don't like doing stuff like that. Like my social anxiety, I don't like that. So I mostly just stuck to Don Rafael, which is I think they call it the main restaurant. It's the buffet, which makes it a lot easier to mix and match, take what you want, customize things the way that you want without having to ask somebody else to make a bunch of alterations for you. In my experience, like every single lunch and dinner, not for breakfast, but every single lunch and dinner in the corner, like shoved in the back dark corner, they did have a specific, it was called vegetarian food section. Now, they did not ever include any eggs or dairy or anything. It was all vegan food as far as I could tell. It was rice. There was always plain rice. There was lots of lentils, chickpeas, beans, lots of noodles with veg type dishes, very similar type items, but just like flavored a little bit different or done a little bit different, mixed with a different collection of veggies with a different sauce type of thing. What I just kept thinking was like, if someone were a whole food vegan, if someone typically eats lentils with beans with veg and rice, like that is their go-to type meals, I think they would be right at home. I think they would love the food. It was like deliciously flavored and all that. But okay, now hold on to your hats because this may shock you what I'm about to say. I'm not a Whole Foods vegan. I'm a junk food vegan. I eat Impossible burgers and vegan pizzas and accidentally vegan cookies and stuff. It's like, so I honestly felt like the food was lacking quite a bit. And I think that's unique to the circumstance, though. Now, all the other food options, the standard food options for everybody else, were all very indulgent, delicious junk food, comfort foods. The type of food that one might, at least I, associate with, like, eating on vacation. Usually I would, treat yourself kind of vibe, and you eat a little bit more indulgent, a little more delicious foods. You go back for dessert and things like that, which just was not the way that it happened. Like I said, it was all like very healthy, delicious, but very healthy whole food options. As far as I could see, there were no desserts on the dessert table that were dairy free or anything like that. So the option for dessert every night was fruit, which again, great, but it's just not what I personally like would choose to eat on a vacation if it were up to me. So I took clips of a few of the different lunch and dinner vegetarian section options. I didn't take a clip of every single time because honestly it was just getting really repetitive. Like I said, it's the same rice, beans, lentils, and veg kind of like over and over. So here's a few clips of that just so you can get an idea of what that section looked like. experience section of the buffet. It is a buffet, right? So there's just other random little things that I was finding throughout. One day they made potato tacos, but there was a little sign there that said like, oopsie, we didn't add cheese to these or whatever. Like, so grabbed one of those, had a delicious potato taco. There was like, happened to be a lentil soup. There was chips and guac or French fries and dip. There's also a really large fruit section, like a very extensive fruit section that was always really fresh and beautiful and delicious, and they just display it up amazingly. It's really nice to walk in the morning for breakfast and see like that beautiful fruit display. And then there's also a very large, like very extensive salad bar, so you can very easily mix and match, customize, put on a non-dairy dressing, and you could make yourself a good salad as well. There was a lentil soup that I found and a few other things just throughout, so I'll show you those plates as well. And then the only other place that I ate while I was there was called Pepe's Food. It's down by the pool. It's like a little grill area where you can get like burgers and fries during the day while you're swimming. Obviously, I'm not interested in the burgers, but fries and ketchup with a drink next to the pool, 10 out of 10. So like I said, that was just my personal experience. I am not any kind of expert on food at the resorts, and I admittedly didn't even like ask the restaurants or anything. I just went onto their menus online, saw the options, saw that it was more like a stereotypical restaurant, and honestly just kept going back to the buffet where it was easier. Again, I like to be able to customize my own things rather than having to ask servers or other people to like go out of their way to do all of that. I just don't like having to make a million customizations. Like, restaurants offer what they offer for a reason. Like, it's a business, it runs efficiently, offering what they offer, and it just like, it makes me feel so awkward to go in and ask for like, oh, not this, cook it this way, cook it in a different pan, all this stuff. I'm just like, so I didn't even go for the restaurants at all. But by all means, if you had a different experience, I would love for you to share it with me down below and share with any watchers, because I'm just sharing my one personal experience that I had with the food there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you liked that video, don't forget to hit that little thumbs up down below. Subscribe while you're hanging out down there. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.